calling Suicide again. Well, the Pentagon today released a new trove of UFO files, and of the 40 new files, 19 of them are videos. They're coming from the Pentagon, NASA, the CIA, the FBI, and the Energy Department. So let's bring in Avi Loeb, who now leads the White House UAP Council. Avi, what can you tell us? What's in these files? What are we looking at here?
Well, first, thank you for having me. We see documents dating back to 1948, 49, when a conference took place in Los Alamos, led by Edward Teller, that was involved in the Manhattan Project earlier. And it involves quite distinguished physicists talking about green fireballs that they cannot figure out, some objects moving horizontally. And so these objects remained unresolved. And then we're seeing a number of videos from recent years where unidentified objects appear. For example, there is an object that makes a 90 degrees change in its trajectory, very abrupt, and becomes a very thin line on the image. It's unclear what this object is. Then there is another one that looks like a formation front of multiple objects moving together through the clouds, and we can't really tell what these objects are. There are a number of those that look like real objects, but there is not enough information. And of course, one objective of the council that I'm leading, that serves as an advisory council to the US government, is to suggest new instruments, new sensors that would allow us to collect new data in the future that will get to the bottom of it, figure out what the nature of these objects is. Because, if these are technological objects, there are two possibilities. Either they were sent by adversarial nations, in which case they are a matter of national security, or this is the biggest discovery ever made in science. We see technological artifacts that are of non-human origin. So in both cases, we have to figure it out. And of course, the best way to do that is by getting better data. And, these releases follow the directive from President Trump a few months ago. And it's a great blessing both to national security and to science. And I'm really happy to partner with government in trying to figure them out.
I think, Avi, to the untrained eye, when you look at some of these videos, they all kind of start to look the same. They're kind of grainy. It's sort of this odd-looking either balloon object or this sort of weird orb there in the sky. And I'm curious, are you seeing stark differences between what was released today and, say, files that were released in the past? The one that stands out to me, I will tell you, is the one that sort of is that Star Trek-looking object thing. We were joking that it looks like something out of Superman, that maybe he flew down from Krypton on. Anything else that sort of sparked your interest that says, oh, wait, we might have something here that maybe prove some of these theories or maybe disprove them?
No, at this time, there is no single video, image, or any other data that indicates a non-human origin for any of these objects. The star-looking object that you mentioned could be just a diffraction pattern that is often found in the optics of cameras. So I would say at the moment, there is no conclusive evidence. But the good news is that the best is yet to come, that there is classified data that probably is much richer and more convincing. A high-resolution image of one of these objects would be very revealing. And the fact that the US government, those people in the White House, the Office of the Director of National Intelligence, the Pentagon, and the intelligence community, and the FBI, the fact that they are reaching out to scientists like myself to try and help them figure it out implies, in my mind, that they believe that some of these objects cannot be human-made, because otherwise they would put the reports in a classified memo to the Secretary of War, Pete Hegseth. They would not ask me as a scientist to help them figure it out. So I think we are heading in an interesting direction into the future. The future is better than the past. Mm-hmm. And we will figure it out using the scientific method by collecting more evidence. It's not a matter of opinions. We should not pay attention to social media. This is a scientific matter, trying to figure out the nature of these objects, and we'll get to the bottom of it. And this is much more inspiring than the script of Steven Spielberg in the recent movie Disclosure Day, because over there, the government fights scientists and crashes their car against a moving train. My car is completely intact, and I feel privileged to help the US government, as an American citizen, at the very least, fulfill its mission in maintaining national security.
Well, I hope we can talk to you each time these batch of files are released to help us make sense of it. Avi Loeb, thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.